What's up, everybody out there? This is your boy Dev of War Room Sports.
And this is Chase.
And we're here so you guys can listen to episode 261 of the War Room. In this episode, we recap the NBA draft. We talk about the NBA free agent signing period and a whole lot more. So make sure you sit back, relax, strap in. Listen to episode number 261 of the War Room that starts right now. Peace out.
But what's good out there in War Room Nation? Y'all are once again live in the War Room, brought to you by War Room Sports on that WRS Podcast Network. I'm Dev. I'm at the round table with my brothers. We got Jimmy the Blueprint and filling in for B. Austin, who's literally on his way to Africa to spread goodwill in the name of War Room Sports, is the homie Hanks from War Room Sports, Brothers of the Watch, Operation Big Brother, and Imaginary Players. That NBA draft is behind us. Free agency is here, is heating up, so we're going to recap the top of the draft, and we're going to give our thoughts on the whirlwind of NBA signings that's been happening in the last 2 days. So keep it locked right here. If you want to get in on the live conversation, join us right now in the JW Philly Realty chat room. That's blogtalkradio.com/The War Room. Or join us on Facebook or Twitter at War Room Sports. You can also call us directly when we open up the Digital Extreme Tech Hotline. That number is 323-410-0012. But before we get started, make sure y'all remember to make War Room Sports Podcast Network a part of your daily routine. Just go there any day, every day, anytime. WarRoomSports.com. Click on the War Room Sports Podcast Network tab and listen to some of the best shows on the internet. Shout out to the Broad Street Line, After Further Review, the Tissue and the Tape Hip Hop Show, the Mad Scientist Sports Lab, and Sports Trap Radio, a whole lot more. You can also check the listings over at fatsradio.com for airtimes of all your favorite WRSP sports shows, including our show, The War Room, which airs a few times per week. Partners, I don't know what's up with the technical difficulties, but because of the tech difficulties, we got to go right into the show. So we're going to talk about what happened this week while everybody out there was on that good grind trying to get that money.
Yeah. Hey, yo, Dev, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I think the Illuminati is after. I think the Illuminati is after us. That's what it is.
Show was about to be too
can y'all hear me?
crisp, too clear. Yeah, you good. But listen,
Okay.
while y'all on the grind, as usual, is brought to you by DirecTV. If you like a better TV experience than cable has to offer, including that NFL Sunday ticket, go to our website, warroomsports.com, click on the DirecTV logo, and order yourself a better TV experience at a discounted War Room Sports sign-up rate. If you call yourself a sports fan, then you got to have DirecTV. Fellas, I don't know if any of you watch, but, I wanted to ask, did any of you catch the debut episode of the Sean Jackson's reality show on BET, the Sean Jackson Home Team? Did y'all catch that?
No.
Yeah,
like,
I
I just
trash, man.
I didn't. This all
You said
Hank because I didn't see that.
Man,
You saw it, Hank?
I know it's a BET. Yeah, I know it's a BET reality show, and that's supposed to lower your expectations because it is what it is. But that was a horrible reality. It was like they took one interview and they chopped it up
Right.
like 30 times, like it was an old turkey, like the Thanksgiving, and they just tried to like remix it. And it was like between him trying to rap and being horrible at it, and trying to build up this drama about him getting them chick pregnant that he's been with for 2 months. Like it was just whack, man. It was a horrible reality show. But I don't understand why Deshaun Jackson is even at the level to have a reality show anyway. So I shouldn't be shocked.
Because it's BET. They're looking for anything right about now.
Nelly got a TV show. Yo, it's funny because since BET was sold from a black man to Viacom, they put more African American people on TV. Maybe they're being selective of who they put on there for a certain reason, but with all that being said, you know what I'm saying? Bob Johnson basically got wealthy off putting tip drill type videos. Like, that's when BET came up. But that's either here nor there.
Tell
That's
me
either here
what
nor
that
there.
thing smell like.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't catch it either, but I've caught some audio clips, a few TV clips of what happened actually on the show, and I know that he still has the Eagles on his mind a lot. He was talking on the show about how the Eagles basically put on the smear campaign after they cut him, after they released him, and all the stuff that came out in the media about him having gang connections and stuff like that. So the Eagles are definitely in the forefront of his mind, but I did catch one clip on radio. I was listening to Sports Talk Radio, and they were playing a clip of how his mother was she was talking to him about the guys that he hangs out with, and she was sounding a whole lot like those media reports that were coming out. So, I didn't really like the quote-unquote smear campaign either. Yeah, that went on, but when you start to hear it from your own mother, and she's talking about the second chance that you got and the guys that you hang around that, look and act like thugs, I don't know, you might have to take heed to it,
Yeah.
Deshaun Jackson
exactly.
is speed.
I actually agreed with him. I agreed with him that, the Eagles didn't have to release all that stuff, and it seemed real convenient that released just when the Eagles decided to cut him. But like you said, his mom basically said the same thing. And I mean, I watched it. I'm not saying those guys that he was with were gang bangers, but they looked pretty gangy to me. Like they weren't necessarily, a corporate staff of folks that were around him. So and there's nothing wrong with that. Keep your people around you that looked out for you. But he definitely looks like he still has some ties to the street.
Right, but it's kind of like, okay, you can kind of understand how strangers are judging you if your own mom is judging you the same way.
Exactly.
And she, she's basically in her little interview, her little diary session, calling for him to stop hanging around certain people. She said, they're not, thugs, but they sure try to act like it and stuff like that. So that was real interesting to hear. And he didn't sound like he wanted to hear anything that his mom or his sister had to say, so I'm not sure if it's going to mean anything. But it's interesting. I might try to catch the second episode since I missed the first and give it one chance. If it's really that bad, then that's where
Don't do it.
Man, listen, unless Stevie J is going to make an appearance, I'm not watching.
Exactly. Stevie is that dude. All right, so man, I think we talked about this last week. How Michael Sam left the Montreal Alouettes in the CFL, basically with no explanation. And we were talking about whether or not his football career, not just in Canada, but period. We were talking about whether or not that was over. Reportedly, he's shown back up to Montreal. He's been reinstated to the team, but he missed, most of their training camp, preseason, or whatever you call it up there, and he missed the first game of the season. So they're going to bring him on slowly, but I think there's a lot of people up there because you're starting to hear a lot of reports of people saying stuff anonymously about him being, an American prima donna, and, he thinks he can just come up here and just do whatever he wants and dominate our league, and that's not going to happen. What's going on with this guy? Does he want to play football?
He's being known for all the wrong reasons at this point, and you are disrespecting their league. Like, let's just throw out what he became famous for to begin with. But just in terms of like pure football, how can you do that? Would you walk away from an NFL team, miss the first game, and then come back and think that you could just play? Like, you wouldn't do that to an NFL team because you wouldn't be in the league at that point, which he's not. But I mean, at this point, he just like creates headlines, but is never for anything positive.
Right. Yeah, it's starting to be sad, man. One of the anonymous quotes, the guy said Michael Sam hasn't played a down of football north of the border, and he's gotten 1,000 times more recognition than Randy Chevrier, who won the Tom Pate Award for outstanding sportsmanship and someone who's made a significant contribution to his team, his community, and the CFLPA. He said, that's pathetic. You guys in the media should be embarrassed. I mean, train wrecks, people can't turn away from them. So that is the stuff that gets the attention. We're talking about it, but I don't know what the future is going to hold from this dude. I pretty much think his NFL career is null and void unless he absolutely dominates in the CFL, then they'll be forced to take a look at him. But it just doesn't seem like that's going to be the outcome for this guy. Oh, well, Mike Sam. All right, so
I'm tired of talking about him. He needs to make a tackle before we discuss him again.
Just one. Just make a tackle.
Yeah.
Y'all know that yesterday was Bobby Bonilla Day, because Bobby Bonilla has his own holiday, because people love the fact that the Mets, way back in 2000, agreed to pay him almost $1.2 million annually on July 1st for 25 years, and those payments began in 2011, and they're going to stretch all the way out to 2028. Like, is this the greatest contract ever signed in sports? I mean, he's going to get $1.2 million every July 1st for doing absolutely nothing until 2028. I need that kind of gig.
It was a good move on his part at the time, but it was also a good move with the Mets. The Mets were just basically trying to find a way to end around the numbers, and they did. But in the long term. But again, for a baseball team, this is when you really think about it, from what they were trying to do at the time, both parties kind of won. It just seems as though he won big time because he basically quadrupled his money. But when you look how they fudged the numbers, so to speak, they won too.
No, but they actually
and remember
that particular money. They put that money into the Bernie Madoff Ponzi scheme, though. So they actually lost.
Yeah, when you look at that, I mean, but I'm talking about from what they were trying to do. What they were trying to do at the time is cool.
Oh yeah.
So basically, when you think about it, they tried to end around the numbers, and then they got end around themselves.
Exactly. But I thought it was a great idea for him, and I think more players probably wish that they had did that, because Bobby was playing in the middle of the Coke era. Like, there's no way in the world you could tell me he would have had that $5 million today if you had given it to him back then. So for him to not only get the money, get all of his money back, but to quadruple his money and to get it in nice yearly sums for the next 25 years, like that's perfect for him. I know AI has something similar with that $30 million when he turns 55 from Reebok, but I hope that they have something in place where he's just getting it in pieces also, where he's not getting a lump sum, because these dudes they need help, because they don't know how to manage their money right. Yeah,
but the thing is, everybody celebrates Bobby Bonilla, but he's not the only player who's gotten this kind of deal. Manny Ramirez is going to be getting paid from the Red Sox through 2026. I think Ichiro has one. I think
Ichiro good with his money, though.
Ichiro, he's going to be paid in installments.
You sound like Reggie White.
Yo, Ichiro is going to be getting paid in installments through 2032. Ken Griffey Jr. is going to be getting paid when he's in his 50s. So for some reason, Bobby Bonilla is the one that everybody talks about the most. Maybe because he's probably the worst player.
Maybe he's the first one that got hit with it too.
Yeah, but he's also the first one that did it. You know what I mean? He's the trailblazer.
He's the first one getting that payout.
He created it.
So he gets the holiday, Bobby Bonilla Day. That's what's up, though. We need to find somebody to pay us like that. Bobby Bonilla getting that residual income, and you didn't do much after you got that contract. All right, so Terrence Williams, man, former NBA shooting guard. There's some rumors going on out there that Terrence Williams is now slinging trees, if y'all know what I mean, to all the NBA stars who smoke trees. So he goes from, and I don't know who this woman is who's putting him out here in this article that I read, Helen Gedlu, but she said Terrence walks around with 20 to 25K because he makes 10K a week slinging trees to NBA players. So I guess he made, some good contacts while he was in the league, and now that he's no longer involved in that, he's supplying the league and still getting paid. What do y'all think of this situation?
I think it's hilarious because he's like the Nancy Botwin of the NBA. And also because my man is straight, they said allegedly, he's selling them through like FedEx and like UPS. Like you put in an order and he'll straight send it to you to your door.
Yeah.
And another thing that's crazy about this is, these dudes got to stop talking so much around these women, because obviously you don't have trustworthy women, and when things go bad, they start putting your business out there.
Right.
Like,
right.
because why is he on blogs with his picture and everything talking about he's America? It's against the law. Like, she's giving up all kinds of things.
And he's sending it through UPS and FedEx.
So it's easy to track. Like his game, we saw the story come across this week. So I hope that he shut down operations, and I hope he burned the place down like Nino or something, like. But it's just like amazing, man. Like, Terrence Williams, man, like you deserve a JoJo award. That's all I gotta say, man. Because come on, B. Like you can't. First of all, you running your mouth. You cupcaking to these women, and they basically put all your business out there. Then you draw and sending it via UPS. So who knows how long it'll be before we see him, in some handcuffs. You should be ashamed of yourself. The way you carry yourself.
Yo, he might get a double JoJo because, like you said, untrustworthy women putting your business out there. I don't know what this has to do with the story, but the chick Helen Gedlu added, Terrence is into women using strap-ons and anal beads on them. He walks around the house singing Trey songs because he's got a man crush on that guy. He's the classic CeeLo was singing about. What is wrong with it? Come on, Terrence.
I had to do a quick Google on who she is. Apparently, she's actually his wife now, and she is an ex-girlfriend of Trey Songz. So, Mr. Studio Girl was at it again. So they might just be beefing, and she's putting things out.
I'm confused, yo.
So hold up. So if she's the one putting all his business out there, right, and she's his current wife,
and then he wifed her.
Yeah. So my thing is that means that he must have really been obsessed with Trey Songz, because you straight wifed his jump.
He not smart
she's a
at all.
former backup dancer for Trey Songz and stuff. Pretty nice looking chick. But I'm thinking with all of this that she's putting out there, they must be going through something right now. She's just throwing things out there. Not to say they're not true. They're probably all true, but that's her reason for doing it.
All right, well, Terrence Williams, you're one of the rare people who's gotten a double JoJo award on the show. So we're going to end this segment with that, man. Jimmy, let everybody know who's having a birthday. This dude.
Absolutely. It's time to get to some birthdays. And for those who don't know, the birthdays are brought to you by Digital Extreme Technologies. Do you or your business need a custom website? Well, for dynamic, professional, and most of all, affordable custom website solutions, you need Digital Extreme Technologies. No need to break the bank for an effective online presence, top quality, results-driven websites at incredibly affordable prices. Financing options are available. Visit digitalextremetech.com, where you can call 267-205-4203. And if you want the hookup Master P style, say, look, I got sent here by War Room Sports. Let's get some birthdays, gentlemen. First birthday is one Chad Henne, quarterback Chad Henne, who turns 30. Next we have the great Troy Brown turns 44. We also have.
Hey Jim, the funny thing is, y'all know, I know Troy Brown's career stats almost by heart, and it really has nothing to do with Troy Brown. It's because I've been in Donovan McNabb arguments like 635,000 times in my life, and when people argue with him, they always go on the fact that he had weak receivers, so that always takes us to, well, Tom Brady won 3 championships with weak receivers, and then that takes them to, what, Troy Brown and them was nice, and then that takes me to giving Troy Brown's weak-ass statistics to let everybody know that Troy Brown was not indeed nice, and it just goes from there. But he's been collateral damage in Donovan McNabb arguments for like the past 10, 12 years now.
Yeah, people have this like misconception. People have this misconception that Troy Brown is like Jerry Rice, and no, You know what I mean? Oh, real quick before I get the next birthday, Casey Mack just chimed in and said also that A-Rod gets paid $40 million from the Texas Rangers from 2016 to 2025. So I guess that's just a baseball thing at this point.
A-Rod, he might still be in the league at 2025. He don't seem like he gonna ever quit. Like they tried to get him out the league, and he still keep coming back. Get your money and leave.
This is true. Yeah, man. So that's what's up with Troy Brown. Next birthdays that we have are Jose and Ozzie Canseco, the great Jose Canseco, or no?
Snitch brothers.
Yeah, the Snitch brothers. Last but not least, Richard Petty turned 78.
Dang.
I have nothing at all to say about Richard Petty because I can care less about him or his sport. With that being said, we'd like to give a nice big war.
I know he liked the Confederate flag. I know that.
There you go. So FOH to him. Salute to all these gentlemen on their birthday from War Room Sports. Dev, tell everybody how they can get in touch with us so we can move forward.
No doubt. Y'all can check out our website, warroomsports.com. While you're there, be sure to sign up for the War Report. That's our newsletter. Click on the Contact Us tab to send a message about the company, the show, or to inquire about sponsorship and advertising opportunities, or joining our network. For general inquiries, email us, info@warroomsports.com. While you're browsing the site, click on the Memorabilia tab. Buy War Room Sports merchandise. Click the blog tab to read our latest articles in the All Sphere and Sports and More blog. Then click the respective icons and tabs to like our Facebook page, to follow us on Twitter, to subscribe to our iTunes podcast, to watch our webcast at War Room Sports TV, to listen to the WRS Podcast Network, and to download our free War Room Sports mobile app to get everything I just mentioned on the go. Join the JW Philly Realty chat room right now during the show at blogtalkradio.com/The War Room. To enter the chat room, just sign up for a free profile on Blog Talk Radio. If you don't want to create an account, you can sign in through your Facebook or Twitter accounts. And while you're at it, click follow to get updates and reminders about the show. We'll be taking questions and reading posts from Facebook, Twitter, and the chat room during the show. But if you want to call in and speak with us, dial the Digital Extreme Technologies hotline. That number is 323-410-0012. Press 1 when prompted. If you're already listening from your phone, just press 1 if you want to talk. But we're going to get into some hot topics real quick. And Jimmy, I know this is your favorite sponsor, even though all sponsors were created equal, and we love you.
Absolutely.
But let everybody know who the hot topics are brought to them about.
Absolutely. Real quick, though, Casey Mack chimed in again and said we missed a couple birthdays, which are Karl Malone, Clark Kellogg, and Dexter Manley. Casey Mack, all I have to say is Karl Malone likes teenage yams. Clark Kellogg's, he's cool. And Dexter Manley, we know what he's known for, and it's not football.
Yeah, literate.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Fantasia Barrino. But anyway, let's move on.
He can't read his birth certificate, so we're not really sure if it's really his birthday.
Listen, though, if your schedule is too hectic to read as much as you want, try audiobooks and kick back and let someone else do the reading for you. All you have to do is visit Audible by going to audibletrial.com/warroomsports. That's audibletrial.com/warroomsports. If you go to that link, you can get a free audiobook and try out the service. You don't have to keep it, but you can definitely try it out and see if you like the service by getting a free audiobook on War Room Sports. Everyone knows I'm heavy into books, and I wouldn't be able to get as many read as I do if not for Audible. I'm reading so many things right now. I'm reading the new book by Aziz Ansari, the comedian, and I'm also reading the 4th book in 50 Shades of Grey, John. Yes, I have read the 50 Shades of Grey and Judge Your Mother. But with that being said, audibletrial.com/warroomsports and go get you a free book. And I'll have to end this by saying Mike Tyson has the greatest audiobook of all time. Anyway, let's get into some more topics, brother.
Women's World Cup. Shout out to the U.S. women for advancing to the World Cup final. It's actually a rematch of the 2011 final between the U.S. and Japan. I don't know if you guys remember that, but Japan won that joint. It was 2-2 at the end of regulation, but Japan won the shootout 3-1 to take it. Have any of you guys been watching the Women's World Cup?
Yeah, man. I've actually been watching it. I've been keeping up with it. Last game was exciting, man. They women's soccer isn't bad. I guess the difference in athleticism isn't necessarily as prominent with women's soccer. It's not like, WNBA where like nobody can dunk. So, it's a big difference. But yeah, they're actually pretty good. Exciting game. We look like we might be able to win this thing. So I'm excited to see it. Only thing that I have against the team is the fact that I've unfortunately seen Hope Solo's nether regions before.
Yo,
And
I was about to say that, Hank. Like, yo, that's the reason I can't watch. That's the reason I can't watch. Listen, and I mean this like, I don't know how to say this. With all due respect, Hope Solo, you have the worst vag I've ever seen in my life. And I've seen a lot of vages, yo. But yo, she literally has the worst. Yo, it looks like she like lays down with like Mack trucks or something. Like, yo, it looks like yo, she got the roast beef. Never mind, man. I'm just gonna chill. All I'm gonna say is it's terrible.
It looks like a Chinese store cheesesteak. Like it's
yo,
terrible.
It looked like a Poppy store roast beef sandwich. It's terrible. Yo, I can't even watch them play because of that. That's the reason I can't watch them play. Like, it's that bad. I don't know who would lay down with her after that. But anyway, with that being said, I haven't watched because of that. Hope Solo has ruined female soccer for me. But you know, God bless him for winning anyway. I'm still an American, no matter how many of y'all try to make me feel as though I'm not. So I'm rooting for the country. You know what I'm saying? Black Lives Matter, but I'm still rooting for this USA women's soccer team. So let's go USA.
So look, so our defense has been really good. Like, people aren't necessarily even shooting or getting close to Hope Solo. Do you think they leaked those pictures on purpose, like to discuss the other players so much that they don't even want to get near her?
That might be possible.
I'm going over there. I ain't going over there.
They didn't want to touch that roast beef. That might be possible.
Yeah, it might be contagious, whatever she has.
Let's move on, Dev. Let's move on, y'all.
Yeah, I just wanted to say it was messed up how Japan advanced to the final. They were playing Great Britain, England, whatever you want to call them, and England actually lost on a self-goal from one of their players. So she's like the GOAT of the whole tournament, and I'm not talking about GOAT in a good way. Her name is something Bassett. I forgot her full name, but yeah, it's like everybody has to reach out to her on Twitter to give her condolences and everything because.
So this is the difference between women's soccer
Laura Bassett
and men's. This is the difference between women's soccer and men's soccer, because if she had been a man, she would have got killed after that game for losing the World Cup.
Nobody would feel sorry for her. Yeah.
No, exactly. Like, she would literally have been murdered. If she had ended up going home, or she would have had to go to a witness protection program because they cared that much about soccer. But they're just like, oh, poor girl. But if that had been, a grown man, he would have got killed in the locker room. So, that there is still differences between women's soccer and male.
And it was crazy because like England outshot them like 15-7, but in the 92nd minute of the game, she basically kicked the ball into the wrong goal. And that was all she wrote for England. So, yeah, I agree with Hank, though. Like, some of those countries over there, you go back like this, because the last time they even reached the Final Four of a World Cup was like 25 years ago. So, yeah, if it was a dude going back to one of those soccer-crazed countries, yeah, he wouldn't be alive today.
Didn't Saddam Hussein kill the whole Iraq soccer team for losing
allegedly.
Oh, my bad.
That could have been some Dick Cheney propaganda, and I probably shouldn't have said that because they're gonna try to tie our lines up again. But
and they already cut off the high def in our studio. It's like, what's next?
Yeah, man.
All
so
right.
I ain't gonna say that.
But I mean, we got some. We're actually going to talk about all the deals that's happened, but Dwayne Wade agrees to re-sign with the Heat on a 1-year, $20 million deal. So Dwayne Wade is going to collect $20 million to play for the Heat in this upcoming season. Looks like they wouldn't cop to the long-term deal for my man. I guess since he plays like 60, 67 games a year, they wouldn't commit to the homie. But we'll get the details on that, and we'll talk about it when we talk later about all of these moves going on in the NBA. The NFL, we spoke a little bit.
Even a player option?
What
not even a player option?
I know.
It's a 1 year straight?
Yeah. I don't know because it just broke and
Okay.
I don't have the details, so we can look the details up, and by the time we get to
Yeah.
it, we'll know what the contract is about. We talked about marijuana use earlier when we talked about Terrence Williams, but there was an article written for Bleacher Report that's getting a lot of attention, and it's called National Football League Up in Smoke, and it was written by Mike Freeman, who's
Smoke
an
weed
NFL
every
National
day.
League writer on Bleacher Report. Did you guys get a chance to read this article?
No, I didn't see the entire article. I heard about it because sometimes like people will post the article and just go in on the headline. So I didn't want to really go in because I didn't read the entire thing. What were some of the parts of the article?
Well, so some of the points basically they're saying now, and they're guesstimating because they really don't have solid proof of this, but they're thinking up to 60% of players in the NFL smoke marijuana. They had Jamal Anderson talking, and we know how he used to live.
I mean,
He
he
was
sniffs
saying
coke
when
off
he
bathroom
played-
toilets.
Yeah, they said he said when he played, 40 to 50% of the league used it. Now I don't know how one player. See, this is something that the average fan would just believe
Yo,
is gospel.
My
I'm
man Jamal
pretty sure when
Anderson
he
sniffed
played, he
50%.
didn't even know 40 to 50% of the league. So to
What
speak
kind of
on
sample
what
size?
they're doing
What kind of sample
individually,
size did Jamal Anderson use? Like Jamal
Exactly.
Anderson went around to the teams like, I'm doing a study. I need to fill a survey out for me.
I'm gonna go down on everybody and say what we were doing. So I need y'all to tell me who on your team uses marijuana. So yeah, he threw out some bogus numbers saying 40 to 50% of the league used it when he was playing, and now he said it's at least 60% now. So I don't know where he's getting his information.
Jamal
But-
Anderson is now a statistician.
They're saying that the reason why it's so prevalent right now in the NFL is because of all the head injuries, the concussions, and there's studies going on that says marijuana use is good for concussions and is good for relieving pain. And you're playing in the NFL, you're gonna have a lot of pain from week to week. So basically, they're trying to pass it off as if these players are self-medicating, when I don't really know if that's the case. They might, the people who do use it, it might be just because it's still a great recreational drug to use. But what do you guys think about some
I
of
think
these
it could be. I think it could be a combination of both. And shout out to guest 1441 in our chat room who said it's great for headaches. Sounds like has some personal experience, and shout out to you for that. But I can see it being a combination of both. I can see some people actually using it for medicinal purposes because let's face it, they play a grueling sport. But then you probably have people who jump on the bandwagon and say, "Oh yeah, that's what that." People that probably don't even get in the game. You got probably kickers and punters like, I need it for medicinal purposes, knowing damn well they just trying to get torn from the floor up. But so I can see it being a combination of both. I need to consult Jamal Anderson to get the exact statistics, but I can see it being a combination of both.
But Jim,
I'm
listen
just
to
wondering
this.
why Jamal Anderson was the person that they called. Like, what made them decide to interview Jamal Anderson?
Yo, but he's giving
Well,
numbers.
because he got it
He
in.
was the first
He
person
got it
the
in though.
A's.
I think Jamal Anderson was the dude from Playmakers that was like smoking at halftime. Jamal Anderson got it
So
in.
I do believe in the medicinal properties of marijuana. I do think that it's better for players than a lot of these manufactured pain pills and pain medicines. I'm sure a lot of them are still using it recreationally, but it definitely is something that can be used to help manage pain. Like the guy said, it helps manage headaches, anxiety. There's a lot of nerves and things that come along with being a professional athlete. So I can understand how it can help you out, using it. Now, will it help with concussions? I don't think it necessarily enhances your cognitive abilities. If anything, it kind of would probably
kind of eases
dull
the pain, maybe.
I mean, it definitely would ease the pain, but as far as making your brain recover from injuries and help, reestablish your neural pathways, I don't think it has that ability. But, I could be wrong. But I'm all for, smoking as instead of using that man-made stuff, man. God put that on there to help us out.
Yo, but Dev,
God put this here for me.
The funniest thing about this story still is Jamal Anderson giving concrete numbers. He could have said a majority of or a lot of. He said between 43.5 and 49.7%. Like, my man is giving concrete numbers. Like, where is he getting this from? That's the greatest thing I've ever heard.
Yo, but listen to this, because they, this is another story where you get a bunch of anonymous sources, and of course for a good reason, because cats don't want to be identified as either being smokers or either being snitches. But they had 16 players who didn't want to be identified. This was their sample, but they were just asking these players how many or what percentage of the league they think use marijuana. They said 10 of them said at least 50% use regularly, which is defined as 2 to 3 times a week. 2 of them said 10%, and then 2 of them said 70%, and 1 refused to quantify but said an ass load or something like that, an ass load of marijuana. I'm not understanding how this even makes the report, because there's nothing scientific about this. 2 dudes said 10%, a couple dudes said 70%, and other dudes said 50%. So they're all over the map with this. But I don't know. The conservative estimate, they said.
This is a Bleacher Report, article.
Yeah. So
you can't expect it to be too.
Some boy named Joe wrote this. Some boy named Joe wrote this down. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, they said they get around drug testing because unless you're already in the system for a violation, you're only subject to 1 test for drugs of substance abuse from April 20th through August 9th. So, like I said, unless you've already been popped for it, you're not getting random tests. You're not getting tested more than once. So it seems like the league probably really doesn't even care, because there's no performance enhancing methods to marijuana use. So I don't think they care that much. I just think it's an image thing. So they're trying to act like they care enough to keep it out of the league. But
this is one of those things where
marijuana doesn't help the field at all. Cocaine now. Yeah. If you're coked up, you might be able to run for a couple thousand yards.
Shout out to Lawrence Taylor. But I think that eventually that marijuana will become legal. I mean, it's on its way to being legal. So, we're going to laugh at this several years from now when, in fact, the NFL, everyone is smoking, probably on the sideline during the game. Matter of fact, we want to have dispensaries paying fees to be sponsors and whatnot. So, we'll see what happens.
Cats used to smoke cigarettes.
Will everybody,
or at least in practice,
will everybody change their Facebook profile picture to a marijuana leaf?
Yo, it's funny, Dev. I was talking to my nephew, who's 10 years old, and we at a restaurant, and I was telling him how back in the day you had smoking and non-smoking section, and he thought I was lying. He's like, "That's not possible. You can't smoke in public." I'm like, "But you could." You know what I mean? He didn't believe that really happened. So things change, and when it changes, people forget how it used to be. You know what I mean?
Yo, and before and that was during our time. Before our time, there was no section. If you was lighting up, you was lighting up.
Yo, people lit up everywhere.
Look at some of those old news reports, the news anchors used to just be smoking.
Yo, they smoke while they give you the weather. It's gonna be 89.
Because I got this a while back. I bought this DVD about all the news that broke when President Kennedy was killed. So it was just showing you a bunch of different newscasts, and every news anchor, while he's reporting that the president just got his brains blown out, was either had a cigarette between his fingers or had it sitting right there in the ashtray smoking.
That seems so
smoking the air on the broadcast.
Foreign. That seems so foreign now. So I guess we're gonna bring that back, and maybe about 10, 15 years, you're gonna have them straight lighting up J's while they're giving you the news. They be 5 more churches burned. They're gonna be smoking and whatnot.
Like Cedric said, now if you want to smoke, you gotta leave Earth. You gotta leave Earth. Yo. All right, so we'll keep an eye on this, because eventually, like I said, once it's not such an image hit, the NFL will come around, and smoking marijuana probably won't be that big of a deal. But Scottie Pippen was in the news this week, and it's because of some things he had to say about one Mr. LeBron James. Nothing negative, but it was another one of those situations probably where Pippen used LeBron James as a way to big himself up. What Scottie Pippen actually said, the quote that is the headline is, "I was LeBron James before LeBron James." But he said more, as we know. They usually say more, but people don't care. They look at the headlines and then they make their judgments from that. So before we talk about it, I'm going to read his whole quote. And he was telling this to a Northeast Ohio media group. He said, "I was LeBron James before LeBron James. It's not even close." He said, "I'm no slouch, but when comparing LeBron's game, I'm usually left out." So that sentence right there tells you that he's kind of salty. But then he said they want to compare him to the greatest, whether it be Michael Jordan or Magic Johnson. But he's more closer to myself. It's natural for folks to say that. But if you look at how he plays the game and how I played the game, you'll see more similarities with us. Do you guys think Scottie is on to something? Or like a lot of the people who jumped on him this week, do y'all think Scottie is smoking that NFL? What do y'all think?
I think he's absolutely right. I mean, he's a better version of Scottie Pippen, but as far as their games, he's very similar to Scottie Pippen as far as what he does on the basketball court and what his best attributes are. Scottie was a little better at defense because he got to focus more on defense instead of scoring. But as far as the passing from the forward position, as far as not necessarily being a knockdown shooter, but being good enough, and then also being able to drive and in their youth being athletic and getting to the rim, their games are way more similar than LeBron's is with Michael Jordan's.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying, Hank. I think, it's like everything else. People, like I said, they read the headline and they take things way out of context, and then they try to interpret from just half of a quote what somebody's intentions are when they're saying something. I wholeheartedly agree with you. If you look at the guys that they try to compare LeBron James with the most, like, they don't really compare. Like, he's not Michael Jordan, and because he can score and he can do a few things Mike-like, they want to put him out there, but that's not really his game. And then on the other hand, because he can pass the ball the way that he does, everybody wants to compare him to Magic. Magic Johnson in no way, shape, or form was half the athlete that LeBron James is. Their games could not be more different. But if you can pass a little bit and your passes look good and they look fancy, then you're all of a sudden Magic Johnson because you're also 6'8", 6'9". I don't buy that at all. I think his game is, and like Hank said, I think he's a new and improved version of Scottie. He's Scottie Pippen on steroids, if you will. Maybe the same height, 6'8", 6'9", but like 40 pounds heavier.
That
Not the defender that Scottie is. Probably a better scorer, and he has a different role than what Scottie has, and that's what people are getting caught up in. Like, Scottie never carried a team, Scottie never did this, but that wasn't his role. And I think what Scottie was comparing was strictly the way they play the game. I mean, he said their games are similar, and how can you disagree with that if you watch basketball?
Listen, even if you dislike LeBron, you have to say one thing, that he's a hell of a player. And the fact of the matter is, in my opinion, we haven't seen anything like him. You just mentioned like 3 players that he has similarities to. He's literally like Karl Malone with a handle that has a high IQ that can pass. Like, and that's what makes him special. There are players that come along every once in a while. I don't want to say revolutionize the game, but it's close to it, that they just changed like the paradigm. We've never seen anything like that. There's really nobody you can compare him to. So you would have to say Magic. Even with Scottie, you really can't say that because of his size. And like, there's certain plays in this postseason where just because of his pure size, he just ran down the middle of the lane. Now, granted, he took 17 steps, but people had to get out the way. That doesn't generally. Scottie Pippen couldn't have made those moves. So there is really no one to compare him to. He has a little bit of Michael, a little bit of Magic, a little bit of Scottie. Not saying he's as great as anybody, but he obviously studies the game, looked at some people, took a little bit of each person's game. But I understand what Scottie was trying to say, but people jump down Scottie's throat and start disrespecting him as if Scottie wasn't an amazing player. Scotty is literally the best wing defender I've ever seen. His shooting was streaky, but he was an all-around player and a great defender. He doesn't get enough credit for his defense. But with that being said, like, just respect LeBron and understand that, we've really never seen anything like that. So that's my opinion of that. By the way, I see that Rob is on the line. Rob, hold on 1 second. We'll get to you in a minute because I know you want to talk some hoops, and we'll be on hoops in a couple minutes, and we'll bring you right on and talk about that. But, to answer your question, Dev, he's a little bit of everybody. It's really no one you really can compare LeBron to.
Yeah. Because that's the thing that superstars do these days. They take a little bit from everybody. But, I think gun to your head and you're forced to compare him to somebody back in the day, I think it would have to be Scottie Pippen. You just have to call him a bigger, stronger Scottie Pippen because their games are similar except for the fact, like Jimmy said, Scotty couldn't do the I'm going to just bull my way into the paint type thing and score like LeBron. So that might be where, like, even on Scotty's best year when he wasn't a sidekick, he averaged like 22 points a game. Mm-hmm. So that might be where LeBron's extra 5 to 7 points per game come from because Scotty couldn't do that, especially not back in that NBA. So, He does a little bit of everything well, but he's definitely not Magic Johnson clone, and he's definitely not a Michael Jordan clone.
In the chat room, we got Skyview1 saying Tom Chambers as a good comparison for LeBron.
I think Skyview's just trying to be different. Skyview, I think he's trying to be different, man. I like it, though, because, it seems like when it's a black dude, people only compare him to a black dude. People only compare white boys to Larry Bird now. Like, it's only Dirk, and it's only cats like that.
It's like Jalen doing draft night. When Jalen was doing his comparisons on draft night.
Oh, my God. Jalen was just comparing people to anybody. I mean, Jalen was like, he was like, yeah, this guy, he's going to be great in the NBA. I mean, he's just as good as Pookie that played on the playground with me back in Detroit. And I'm like, yo. But no, Jalen was taking anybody and comparing them to, like, NBA legends. Like, yeah, this guy, he has a game like Charles Barkley, and he talking about, like, D'Angelo Russell. Like, yo, what are you talking about, Jalen? Like,
he's like Okafor is like a 7-foot Allen Iverson. I mean,
exactly.
Just made AI bigger and slower.
Yo, Jalen was tripping. I think he was on that NFL that night. And you could tell, like, the guys that were sitting up there with him, Jay Billis and cats like that, they seem a little, a little peeved. Like, they were, like, what is Jalen talking about type stuff? Like, put these dudes on here, and the least they can do is do some homework and just stop saying crazy stuff. But I don't know. But, yeah, that definitely was funny. So, before we go into full-on NBA hoops talk, and we got a couple of calls on the line, we could take them, like, right before we go into that segment. But before we do that, I want to give you fellas the stat of the week. And this is actually something that I came across maybe like 4 or 5 weeks ago, but every other stat of the week we've done since then, we kept coming up with stuff that really had something to do with what the main topic of the show was. And we have some stuff that we could talk about today, but I want to get this one out. And this one, I think, could give us a brief conversation on the change in human beings, the evolution of human beings, or you guys can tell me if you think it's medicinal, if it's something that's going on that's not on the up and up. But this is a track and field stat. Carl Lewis, his personal record, which was a former world record in the 100-meter, his personal best was 9.86. Like I said, back in like 91, going into the 92 Olympics, this was the world record. That time is now 91st all time. Now, also the 100-meter winner in the 92 Olympics, which was Linford Christie from Great Britain, he ran a 9.96. With that time, he would have finished 7th in the 2012 Olympics. Is this just the evolution of human beings, better training, better nutrition, or are all these dudes on drugs? Like, what's happening? Why is Carl Lewis's world record time 91st in the world now? Why are dudes so much stronger and faster now?
I think it's definitely a case of evolution. I mean, you can eat better now. You train better. Like these dudes, they didn't know anything about nutrition and about fueling your body the way that people know now. And also the clothes that they're wearing. Yeah, I mean the clothes that they're wearing. Carl Lewis, he was wearing them little shorts. He couldn't really extend his legs the same way Usain Bolt can in that spandex stuff that they got now. I mean, I'm sure. Well, yes, we've already learned that plenty of people have been on drugs, but I think also the betterments that have been made in training and in eating and in building the correct muscles have also attributed to this increase in speed that we're seeing.
Yo, I just find that crazy because there's a lot of people who still consider Carl Lewis maybe the greatest or one of the greatest, top 5, top 10 Olympic athletes of all time. And to sit here and realize that his world record time, his personal best, is now 91st all time, which means there's a lot of people with lesser names than Carl Lewis, probably some nobodies, who have better, personal best than he has. And that's just crazy to think about. But
well, I mean, look at it. We just spent 5 minutes talking about LeBron and about the evolution in the NBA player and the way that he's so big and so fast that you can't even really compare him correctly to somebody from just one era before him. So I mean, the same thing's happening with all athletes. People are becoming bigger, faster, stronger.
Yeah, because like we're saying, people talk about how good of a player, an all-around player Scottie Pippen was. Then you got LeBron, who's 40 pounds heavier than him, but is probably more athletic, faster. So, like, how do you do that with an extra 40 pounds of muscle on you? So it is crazy.
Exactly. Or even take it back further and look at Bill Russell. Bill Russell dominated the NBA in his time, and
he was
LeBron's
like
bigger
weight.
than Bill Russell. LeBron makes Bill Russell look like a
it's definitely evolution, man, because like you said, the training techniques, what people know about nutrition, these guys are literally athletes 24/7, 365. And the further you go back in time, it just wasn't that way. I mean, in early baseball, dudes had full-time jobs and played baseball on the side.
and they smoked. And half of them was in the service because they went to war and then came back and finished the season.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So these guys are athletes 24/7, 365. A lot of these guys have training now at such a young age. People literally are losing their childhood because they're being trained to be professional athletes at such a young age. So
robots.
Yeah, so it's like you have no choice but to just evolve, and these records are going to continue to be broken, and eventually it's just going to be out of control. And then when you talk about performance enhancing drugs, I mean, man, listen, there's so many things. It's like a cavalcade of things that would allow this to happen.
They train from an early age to get up in this slave trade. Shout out to the owner of the San Diego Sabres. Anyway, before we get into this full-on NBA talk, I know we got some callers on the line, right, Jim?
Yeah, we definitely do. We got the homie calling from California, Rob. He's been on hold for a while. He wants to talk some hoops. So let's let Rob start us. Savada's on the line, too. He also wants to talk some hoops. Everybody wants to talk hoops because the NBA is giving away money like it's candy. So let's bring Rob on real quick and then we get to Savada. Rob, what's really good? Welvin, what's good?
What's really good, man? Shoot, ain't nothing good with the Lakers, man. It's a sinking ship. Shoot.
Well, listen, man.
The ship be sinking, man. The ship be sinking.
It's like freaking the Black Titanic, man. It's just, with Jim Buss the captain. But anyways, man. Yeah, man. I lost. When I saw the draft, man, I lost my mind. I was
sorry,
like,
man.
I had to make a joke out.
Sorry, man. Take your time, man.
Man,
testify.
I mean, for Philly Cats, I understand that. First of all, our management just as bad as y'all, but Jim Buss don't know what he's doing. I mean, I want to get Jimmy because I've been wanting to ask Jimmy, what did you think when they draft D'Angelo Russell? What do you look at him when you look at his skill set, what he brings? Do you think he can elevate?
Here's the thing, Rob. I don't like making those kind of observations or should I say analysis before he's had a chance to play, because you've seen guys play at high school level to college level and get to the pros and everything changes. Some people's games are made for certain levels. So I want to see him actually go out there and play against NBA competition before I can give you a full analysis. I don't want to say he's going to be this or he's not going to be this because you just never know. I mean, Jahlil Okafor could be a bum or Jahlil Okafor could be one of the best centers ever play this game. You just have to let it play out. With that being said, I'm not as mad at the draft as I am with everything post-draft because now I don't know whether you heard or not, but LaMarcus Aldridge is giving the Lakers a second opportunity, and they basically told Kobe and Jim Buss they told Kobe and Jim Buss to stay away. It's with Byron Scott and Mitch Kupchak are just the only ones in the room with Aldridge because allegedly Kobe and Jim Buss didn't work out too well. From what I hear, Jim Buss was
to give him a second opportunity. It sounds like he might want to go there. He's just waiting to hear what he wants to hear.
Yeah, pretty much.
Listen, I'm excuse me for my language about to use, you know what I'm saying? But I hate when people always blame Kobe for everything. It's like he's a stepchild, you know what I mean? Listen, this is in LA. I know LA is a glamorous city, but we are passionate in basketball. If you want to be a baller, for crying out loud, people they named a freaking restaurant after Paul Gasol. You know what I'm saying? We love our NBA athletes.
NBA Rob, the Kobe thing. Big man. When people say
listen, if you want to come be a baller, come to LA. If you want to play like a bitch, go to Texas. Go to San Antonio.
Yeah.
Go play for that slave master Mark Cuban.
Yo, Rob, hold up. Rob, listen. I understand you're defending Kobe, right? I understand that you're defending Kobe, right? But at the end of the day, right, I've literally heard from players that off the record that says, yo, I don't want to play with Kobe. Now, I'm not saying that Kobe is a bad guy, but Kobe is cut from a different cloth. He's literally the bridge between, say, the Michael Jordan era and the LeBron era. These guys all came up playing AAU together. They don't want to hear what Kobe's selling.
Exactly. I was telling my brother E, who's a diehard Lakers fan, diehard Kobe fan. I was telling him today, Kobe is like that dude with the fatigues, the Timbs, and the bucket hat, trying to tell these young cats about what real hip hop is and saying that listening to Drake is rap. These young kids, they don't want to hear that. They don't. He's like, yo, if you don't know every member of the Killer Bees, you're not real hip hop. That's he's saying the wrong thing to recruit these people.
They said he literally told LaMarcus Aldridge, yeah, if you come here, you can be my help like Powell was to get us over the hump. Who wants to hear that?
I mean, I think with the Kobe thing, Rob.
Paul was like our savior. He was like, I ain't about to say the word, but he was like y'all savior when he came, man. Come on, man.
Hey, Rob, I think it's just this, to tell Kobe to stay away from the meetings. It's basically because no, he's really, and I'm a Kobe fan, Rob, but he does no good in meetings like that because the whole point of these recruiting meetings is to bring people in and kiss their ass. Kobe's not going to kiss their ass.
Yeah.
So why should he be at the meeting if you're going to come to a meeting where they're supposed to be smoozing you and you got this dude sitting across the table like, I don't give a damn about you. If you want to come, let's do this. But so, I mean, it's not productive to have Kobe at those meetings. It's not. It's not
only, that can be true. That is considered, but not only that, think about the last two coaches the Lakers had. They had one coach who was a good defensive coach. He's more bad as an assistant than he is a head coach. No pun intended, Mike Brown. And the other dude, D'Antoni, was just a joke. So, I understand that Marcus Aldridge, what he's trying to do is say, okay, where is your head at? Are you about that life? Are you willing to win a championship? And his resume is good. Other than when he went to Cleveland, which was terrible. It's not his fault. The Lakers fans ain't stupid. It has nothing to do with Byron Scott. He just doesn't trust the management. So,
yeah, but my thing is, what's that got to do with Kobe, though?
Huh?
Yeah,
what's that got to do with Kobe?
Look, Rob, like Jimmy said, like Jimmy said, man, Kobe's just cut from a different cloth, man. You got these new dudes. LeBron is the face of the league. If LeBron wants you to play with him, you come to a meeting, LeBron might give you a back rub. He's going to tell you what you want to hear. He's going to take you out. Y'all going to have pool parties and stuff like that. Kobe ain't about that life. And that's not a bad thing, but it's a thing that, it's the thing that probably tells you that Kobe should just stay his ass at home when they're having these meetings.
I mean, no. I mean, come on. Look at the people that Kobe. People forget Kobe. Who people brought when they brought Gasol over the baller. When they brought two guys that people say quote unquote didn't like Kobe, like Ron Artest and like Matt Barnes. And Matt Barnes said, "Yeah, I want to go back to LA." So Kobe said, "Okay, I got you. I'll get you here," and he got him here. You know, Kobe doesn't have that.
Matt Barnes is different
anymore.
Matt Barnes is a goon. Everybody not built like Matt Barnes. Matt Barnes is the light skinned goon.
Rob, you're naming role players. You're naming role players though. What superstar?
But Jim, he's also naming goons. He named Ron Artest and Matt Barnes. Like, of course, they down with the program.
I'm talking about gangsters. Come on, man.
Yeah, but these guys you're talking about.
You think everybody's built like that?
These dudes you're talking about aren't goons, man. These are guys who play at a high level. Here's the thing, Rob. When Kobe hangs him up, right, and he's had an illustrious career, when he hangs him up, watch the floodgates open. You're going to say, damn, maybe it was Kobe. Because you're going to start seeing more guys come here because they don't have to deal with Kobe in, like Hank said, that was a great analogy. They don't have to deal with Kobe in his Timberlands and fatigues. Like Kobe is like duck down records. Like these dudes are young money. Kobe's duck down, they're young money. It's a whole different culture. So
he's keeping it. He going to raucous. He keeping it, but they trying to keep it. They trying to keep it real.
Wow.
Yeah, like they're not with that. These dudes are you had dudes come to LA and then go sign with the Milwaukee Bucks. Are you serious?
Never. They wanted money. It was about the money.
For me, I thought the person to have in that meeting was Swaggy P. I think he could sell the benefits of living in LA. Hey man, look, Swaggy P ended up with Iggy Azalea, who last year was probably one of the most famous women in the world.
Rob, you talking about the wrong thing.
Yo, he could take him and his slave master and get out of LA. Fuck him, dude.
Look,
family show, man.
But I don't like him. I don't.
But Rob, you're talking about the wrong things, man. You don't get this thing is cultural. Like these dudes don't want to hear what Kobe's selling, man. Like
exactly, they want to hear that. Look, man, you could come here, you could meet all these famous girls. You run through. That's what he wants. That's what they want to hear. They want to hear the benefits of the LA life. They don't want to hear.
Kobe and him talking about hard work and dedication.
Kobe talking about getting in the gym at 4 a.m.
Exactly. Kobe was like, yo, my man was talking about today. He said, yo, Kobe be in there trying to pre-pledge people. Like, he be in there talking about
I mean, yeah. Okay.
Hey, Hank, he coming to the meeting with the paddle. Like, you ready? Come on, Kobe.
You got to earn your way here.
Kobe, man. Kobe is big brother almighty.
Yo, it's true. On the real, I understand what he's saying because it's true. Like you do have guys like Shannon Brown who be marrying Monica, who like
guys who would never get chicks like that. They would never get chicks like that. Do you see what Swaggy P looks like? How did he get a chick like that? Like, come on, man.
He was in Milwaukee. He wouldn't
because he played for the Lakers.
But see here,
exactly. He's a Laker.
It's to the point where DeAndre Jordan heard the pitch and left and said, "Yo, I feel sorry for them." Like it's bad. Yo,
hold up. But that's another thing, Jim. Because I want to before we get you out of here, Rob. I want to let you know. I heard you earlier take a shot at Philly management, saying that they just as bad. I don't think they've proven to be just as bad as the current Laker management. The management before this management in Philly were terrible. The management now is trying to take a bad team, tear it completely down, and rebuild it. So I still think the jury's out on what they do because in 2 years they could be a very good team, and you'll be, eating your words on that. But this is the Los Angeles Lakers. Exactly. They have a top 2 market in the world for any sport, damn near, except for maybe soccer because it's not big over here like that. But you can't compare the two. Jim Buss, he's an idiot. You have the you have the best franchise in the NBA, and you can't get anybody to come play, Kobe or non-Kobe. That's a problem. So you really can't compare that. That's not the same thing.
Hey, Rob,
y'all got the same position twice in like 4 years.
Rob, none of that matters right now.
Okay, you didn't understand anything I just said. Obviously, all that just flew over your head.
I agree.
Rob, what does that matter? Right now, they are in a better position unless the Lakers sign Aldridge. The Sixers right now are in a better position than the Lakers. all around the board. They're just in a better position. So I wouldn't go throwing shots at them because right now they're in a better position. And secondly,
and
you can go back and listen.
Their draft pick next year too.
Exactly, but you can go back. You can go back and listen to the episode that we did when Dr. Buss died. I said, "Yo, that's a wrap. That was a great run," because when Jim Buss is left, Jim Buss is no different than someone else whose father owns a hardware store and has built it up and left a chain of hardware stores to his son, just because he's his son and runs them in the ground. You know what I'm saying? Mitch Kupchak. And the funny thing is, Magic said this a couple years ago too. Magic said it's a combination of Buss and Kupchak. He said Kupchak wants to prove so bad that he can do better than Jerry West and he can do it by himself, that he tries to ignore help and he F's it up. He said that Jim Buss is an idiot. Like Magic said this, and people came in his neck. But Magic said, you can Google it. Magic did an interview with the LA Times. He disrespected Buss and Kupchak and called them both incompetent. So the fact of the matter is, go ahead.
No, he's right. He's right because he had that club. He used to own 10% of Lakers. I believe him.
Yo, he straight sold ownership in his team because he said, yo, who's managing my money? Like, yo, how bad are you if you have a minority owner who just doesn't want to do business with you and you're in the second biggest market in the world, like Dev said?
I mean, because I don't understand what they're doing. Because Dev always says well he's right about everything he says about Jim Buss because it's like they have a big TV deal and it's like who's gonna watch the Lakers lose?
Yeah. You know plenty of people gonna keep watching, but like it's just not what they used to. But Rob, man, this call is long as hell. Thanks for the call. You know, we appreciate it. We'll holler at you next week. We got some more people waiting on the line, man.
Peace, Rob. Peace and blessings.
Peace out.
Chip Kelly. Peace.
All right, bro.
Yo, man, we got Savannah.
Rob mad at everybody. That's why I call him Angry Fan.
Yo, Rob, we got Savannah. Savannah is in Texas. San Antonio Spurs fan.
All day.
Yeah, I know he's a Spurs fan. I know that Aldridge, that was one of his destinations, and the Spurs have made moves. Let's see what Savannah thinks about his own squad.
Tissue in the tape.
Tissue in the Tape podcast on the War Room Sports Podcast Network. What's up, homie?
Hey, what's going on, guys? How y'all doing?
All right.
Pretty good, man. What's up?
Did somebody give you a max deal yet? Because they giving them out like, you know what I'm saying, it's nothing.
No, not yet, but I think it's on the way. I just got to lose maybe 60, 80 pounds.
There you go.
So what you thinking, man? What you think about your Spurs?
To talk today just because, of course, you guys are talking about hoop, and, Jimmy, of course, you're a Lakers fan. And, the Lakers, maybe 4 days ago, oh, man, Kevin Love, DeAndre Jordan, oh, man, Marcus Aldridge, oh, man, Greg Monroe, oh, man.
He was going to get the whole league.
Oh, yeah, so.
Remember Boogie Cousins, too, for a minute.
But, yeah, Boogie Cousins will get traded.
Rajon Rondo.
Rondo, you didn't want him.
Jim Buss
So the Lakers, like you said, with Buss there, it's just not the same Lakers that everybody's used to, and Lakers fans are gonna have to get used to it. So, as a Spurs fan, I was glad to bring back Danny Green. It was a given that Kawhi Leonard was gonna be, re-signed to that deal. I'm happy so far. Got rid of Splitter, and it's looking like I kind of wanted Monroe, but it looks like the Spurs will be able to at least be competitive again, and we'll see what happens with Aldridge, but I'm not too sold on him anyway, so I wasn't too excited about his acquisition. Possible acquisition.
So as part of my day job, what I do is hire people a lot, and when I make people offers, and I see that somebody was way too excited and way too happy by what they got, I feel bad because I'm like, dang, I could have got that person for a lot cheaper. So when Danny Green came out and was like, man, I was actually surprised that they put a deal so good together for me. I was like, wow, y'all probably overpaid for Danny Green. Like
if he's surprised,
he can't afford to disappear the way that he does from time to time at that price now, because he has to contribute and be a legit solid starter for them for the next 4 years.
So you're saying he can't allow Chris Paul to push off on him and get the game-winning bucket in Game 7? You can't allow him to push off 10 feet under the hoop. Yeah.
I mean, he can't
signed
go
that contract
games where
so
you forget
fast,
Danny
though.
Green's on the court. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He was like, what? They giving me that? Okay.
I mean, people will go out on a limb and tell you that he's one of the top 6 to 8 shooting guards in the league. You know, I mean, you could go down the line.
I can't even, he might be, because that position right now is suspect. So he might be.
Wait,
I mean, I got to think about
that. You said what?
Top 8 shooting guard, 6 to 8 shooting guard.
That ain't hard to be in here, but still.
But still, yo, Danny Green.
Yeah.
I mean, he might be. I don't know. We got to do some thinking about that.
I got to do some research, man.
But Survive.
Because you got.
To your first point, you're exactly right, and I tell Lakers fans all the time. Lakers fans get mad at me because I try to stay objective, even though I am a Lakers fan. And you know, sometimes people are they're so much a fan of a team that they like live in a different world. And when I told people this isn't your father's Lakers, I meant that. Like, it's going to take a lot to get us back to where, like, could you imagine, like, the free agents that passed the last couple years? Like, we would have had all of them. LeBron would have been a Laker if Dr. Buss was alive. Dr. Buss, you know, through his use of the Forum Club, found a way to entice players to stay. When you look
they might have read
Lakers,
about that. You know what the Forum Club did to Magic. You know what the Forum Club did to Magic.
This is all true. This is all true. But Dr. Buss had you know, one of his closest friends, you know, was the founder of Playboy, what have you. So he found a way to get players to stay. You guys have seen Blue Chips, so you know what happens when people get recruited. When Shaq came to the Lakers, like, yo, the Lakers were in shambles. There was nothing there really. But Shaq came and he never left. So this isn't your father's Lakers. What I would say is build through the draft. You have some young pieces there, so continue to do that and get to the point where you'll need 1 or 2 free agents. By that time, Kobe will be off the books, and then you still can make a move. But what I find interesting though with this whole free agent thing, and your Spurs are probably, it's going to sound crazy, your Spurs are the biggest small market team within the NBA. But you see like Milwaukee making moves. You see the team in Canada making moves. Like, yo, cats will take bread and don't care where they play no more. The whole concept of playing in these big markets doesn't even exist no more.
Yeah, I wanted to bring that up as my last point, guys, before I get off. Just wanted to get guys' thoughts on these mega deals for Damian Lillard and also for the Brow down in New Orleans. Places where, you know, small markets, essentially, like you mentioned, the Lakers being, you know, huge market, and, you know, New York being the same. You know, what do you think about the league giving these small markets the power to empower these guys with these huge contracts to where the market doesn't matter as much? What are your thoughts on that?
I think that the league has to do that because, you know, if the league didn't empower them to, like, you know, through the bird rule, but through the bird exception, what have you, and all those other things, if the league didn't give them that power, I think the NBA would be in trouble. Because back in the day, before they were able to do that, the big market teams could, you know, people always talk about how stacked teams were back in the day. Magic had a stacked team, Dr. J had a stacked team, and, you know, Bird. Well, it was a different era, but, you know, so you can find ways to make other income, and the big market teams literally had more money. So, but now through this new, the money they're allowed to give out now, I see us heading towards another lockout. Yo, Ed Davis, right? Yo, Ed Davis has got like 20-something million. How's that possible?
Yo,
how was everybody on the Cavaliers able to get a max?
I'm about to tell y'all, Danny Green ain't better than Chris Middleton.
Chris Middleton got 80 million. Yo,
I just got.
Yo, Tristan Thompson got 80 million, and he doesn't start. And I guess another thing.
Yeah, that's because he's LeBron.
He don't make layups. He just gets offensive boards.
LeBron's his agent. So
yeah, LeBron is his man. They wear suspect hats together and all that, and take, like, you know, hot tubs together. But the fact of the matter is, when you have arguably the best player in the league playing in a small market, it just changes everything. Like, LeBron got cats playing in Cleveland, but I know the NBA. On one hand, is happy, but then on the other hand, you look at New York and LA and the amount of revenue the league could generate. I know that pisses them off too.
Yeah, there is a danger though to having that ability to overpay as a small market team, because if you miss on a player, you know, you're pretty much screwed for those next 4 or 5 years. Like, I think Anthony Davis is a no-brainer. Damian Lillard, I don't know if he's absolutely worth that contract that they gave him. because they didn't just give him, you know, the Kawhi Leonard.
Divide you outside in the wind.
Oh yeah, just a little bit. Yeah, sorry about that.
They didn't just.
Savad, it's like you running from the cops, Savad.
He got crazy maxed out, man. I don't know if Damian Lillard is. I don't know if Damian Lillard is the guy that, as your number one player, you can win a championship with. But I mean, Anthony Davis, that's a no-brainer.
That's over.
But yeah, and I don't know if he's necessarily even selling tickets for you either. Like that's what you have to think about when you're maxing these people out. Like, not only can I win with them, but are they entertaining enough that they're going to sell out the arena to the point where I'm going to get this money back?
Dog, Greg Monroe got a max deal. He's never made an All-Star game.
Greg Monroe, every year they tried to bench him in some way. Like I don't think Greg Monroe is really that good. He's just okay at scoring in the post. Everything else he does is bad.
Yeah. Hey, Savad, though, thanks for the call. Everybody check out Savad, Tissue and the Tape podcast. It's on WRSPN.com. It's the best hip-hop podcast on the internets. You guys continue to do your thing, man. And be careful down there by the border, because according to Donald Trump, you know, you got a lot of criminals and thugs over there that may snatch you up.
Word. All right, man. Thanks, guys.
All right, homie. Take it easy.
All right.
Hey, Jim, you might as well, you know, pay some bills real quick and let everybody know who this segment is brought to them by. But real quick, before you do that, everybody, y'all can check out our website at warroomsports.com to call in and speak with us about any of the NBA draft or free agent signing period topics. Dial the Digital Extreme Technologies hotline right now at 323-410-0012. Press 1 when prompted. If you're already listening from your phone, just make sure you press 1 if you want to holler at us real quick.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? This is Jamel Hill, the Hers from His and Hers on ESPN2, and you are in the War Room on the War Room Sports Podcast Network.
Shout out to Jamel. Listen, the NBA Wrap is brought to you by Fanatics. For the best in your favorite team's merchandise and apparel, shop Fanatics. Shopping Fanatics is easy. Go to our website, warroomsports.com, and click on that Fanatics logo. You can get NFL, NBA, NHL, MLB, and NCAA gear. Fanatics has it all. So if you want to see all these free agents moving and want to get their jerseys, go to warroomsports.com, click on that Fanatics logo, and we'd like to thank Fanatics for their support of the War Room. Let's talk
Though we like money,
basketball.
Do not buy a Luke Rittenhour jersey. Please do not do that.
No. Let's talk basketball, gentlemen. And Dev brought it up about Luke Rittenhour, by the way. I know Dev gave a stat of the week, but this is another stat of the week right here. Luke Rittenhour has been on 5 NBA teams just in this past week alone. He's got traded 4 times. He's been passed around more than a young lady who frequents James Harden. So, what do you guys have to say about Luke Rittenhour?
The first 3 of those 4 trades happened in a 25-hour span. So, like a day and an hour. He was passed around 3 times. He went from, because, the last team that he actually suited up for was the Orlando Magic. So, he went from Orlando to Memphis in a trade. He went from Memphis to Charlotte. From Charlotte to Oklahoma City, from Oklahoma City to Toronto. He is now a Toronto Raptor. I'm not very confident in how long that will last, so people north of the border do not buy a Luke Rittenhour jersey. Now, Luke Rittenhour is an interesting name to me because he is one of those guys who stays with a spot somewhere in the league, and I never really understood why. I mean, he's serviceable, but he's always somewhere on a pretty good deal or getting traded. He's always a trade commodity, and I don't understand why he's so valuable in the NBA.
Listen, man,
I really don't.
My grandma told me as a kid, right? Like, there's one thing that doesn't cost a lot to do, and it pays dividends, which is be nice to people, man. You got some guys that are just coachable guys who are nice to people, who have like 10 and 15-year careers, and you're like, how's he why is Steve Blake in the league?
Hey, Steve Blake's better than. I think he's better than Rittenhour, though. Steve Blake.
I was going to ask you that.
Steve Blake has had moments where you're like, okay, this dude can actually play. He's an overachiever because I didn't think coming out of Maryland that he was even league worthy. So I at least give him props for for
And
getting in and overachieving and sticking in. But Luke Rittenhour,
and he ended up having the number one. He ended up having the best career out of that national championship team too for Maryland.
Juan Dixon. You knew Juan Dixon was too.
Oh, I forgot. Hank is a Maryland. Hank is a Maryland alumni, so he gonna ride for him. You know what I'm saying?
Steve Blake is way better than Luke Rittenhour.
Yo, Hank like fear the turtle. Fear the turtle.
Both of these guys have found it, and they came out the same draft. You know what I'm saying? One from Oregon, one from Maryland. They came out the same draft, and they did hang around. But so listen, man, you just be coachable, be nice, try to play a little bit of defense, and you can have a 15-year career.
Yeah, he's had a long career, though. Luke Rittenhour gets it.
Shout to Luke Rittenhour, man.
I mean, he averages 9 points and 4 assists. I mean, like I say, he is serviceable, but he's always a commodity. Like, people are like, okay, throw Luke Rittenhour in that trade and you got a deal. What? Like, for what? Like, for who? For what?
Yo,
he reminds me of one of those guys at the end of the bench that's there to, like, raise the team GPA in college. Like, but I don't know what the benefit is in the pros of having Luke Rittenhour. I guess he probably practices really hard and stuff like that. Like,
yo,
hey, he's a good leader
in the film.
He's a good leader. Yeah, he's a leader of men.
Yo, watch Luke Rittenhour end up being a great head coach, though. Watch.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Listen though. The draft was last week. Rob just asked me about the Lakers taking Russell with the number 2 pick. And, I'll give my quick answer to that. I really wasn't shocked. Would I have taken him? I don't know. I probably would have tried to, if I'm a fail with size and take Okafor. But I wasn't shocked because leading up to the draft, all the talk was about Russell. Some people actually were saying he's the best player in the entire draft. So I really wasn't shocked. Again, how will this pan out? I have no clue. But, I'm interested to actually see that. So they could have been very smart or very stupid, because Okafor could be that guy. Who knows? But it had to be between those two. But I wasn't completely shocked though, because people kept saying it. I wasn't completely shocked, but it was a good thing for the Sixers though, because the Sixers to get Okafor is crazy.
Yeah, they came up, but before we even get into that, I was shocked. And like you said, Jim, I heard pundits talk about it. Chad Ford changed his draft board hours before the draft and said that Russell was going to go number 2. I saw that, I just think people were overthinking it, overanalyzing it. I just thought this was a draft. We had 2 bigs at the top of the draft that you didn't have to think much on. I thought it was for the Lakers, okay, whoever Minnesota takes, I'm taking the other guy. I thought it was just as simple as that. They took Russell and I was really shocked. I just thought the Lakers and when they did it, like I thought because all of the DeMarcus Cousins rumors that were going around, I was thinking, okay, they made this pick for Sacramento. Sacramento must want the kid D'Angelo Russell. But at the same time, I was thinking I'm still shocked because if Sacramento's going to trade DeMarcus Cousins to the Kings, then you at least get a promising big man back. So any way you sliced it, I was shocked. And this kid has a lot of confidence. He has a lot of quote-unquote swagger. So we're going to see. We're going to see what he's all about. But I think in that spot, I think you take Okafor and just never look back.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, if I would have failed, I would have failed with a 7-footer that, was supposed to be, the first pick of the draft.
Supposed to be the number 1 pick of the draft.
Yeah, I would have failed that.
But the problem with Okafor is I don't think he fits well with Julian Randle at all, though. They both occupy the same spot on the floor. So I think they must see something in Randle that they think that he's going to be a pretty good big in the league.
I don't see nothing in Randle but what is it, torn Achilles or torn ACL, whatever the hell. I'm not taking that gamble.
We got a couple people on the line. We got a couple people on the line that want to talk basketball. Everybody, wants to talk about this all this money being thrown around. We got
they passing out more chicken than KFC.
Absolutely. We got E-Baby Davis is the name calling for Philly. What's going on?
Baby. What up, E?
What's going on, fellas?
What up, E?
Lakers
fan, dude.
Oh,
Yeah,
this
my
is
Lakers
Hank
big
told me, the
ass
Lakers fan. Is this who Hank was talking about? Hank called you a Lakers fan and a Kobe apologist. Is that true?
Jimmy snitching.
I don't know if I want to say I'm a apologist. See, you guys
You're
want a lot of
apologizing
good-
now, man.
I am, but you got to for Kobe because Kobe is one of the only superstars that get disrespected the way he gets. Now, some of it he brings on himself. I agree with you. One of y'all said you can't bring Kobe into the meeting.
The Lakers said that.
Because when we say that, that's not a diss. That's just saying.
No,
I mean,
agree.
because I think we like the guys on the we're from the same school as he is. Like, I'm not gonna go on no meeting and kiss nobody's ass. If you want to rock, let's rock. But so you don't need to bring me there, just like they don't need to bring Kobe.
Yo,
but go ahead.
But listen, E, I'm a Lakers fan and I'm a Kobe fan. But like Dev said, I'm from the same school as Kobe, but I also recognize these young boys ain't from that school. They a different breed.
For these dudes.
Yeah, they're a different breed, man.
Yeah.
But
you got to send Swaggy to that meeting. You got to send.
This is what the NBA is now. The NBA is not like Kobe and KG are the last of a dying breed. Once they're gone, the league is completely Drake and J. Cole. That's it. It's over.
No, I actually agree with you 100%. Now, before I just think this is, when I say before, this was like 24 hours ago. Put Kobe in there. Kobe tell these niggas, listen, I'm trying to win. You on board? It ain't working the last couple years.
Nah.
So now one of the things I was thinking, and I don't know why they didn't do it. Me personally, I think you should have brought Russell into the beat because that's the future. Ain't it?
Yeah.
He's
that's a good point.
He's the point guard. He's the one who's going to be distributing the ball. You make me work out a game plan with him in the free agent. Now, with Kobe, I feel like Kobe's an asshole. Kobe's a guy in school. He knows he's smart as hell. He's not going to let you cheat off his test. And he tells you he gets A's all the time. So when you get a chance to say something bad about him, you're going to say it. Now, everything that he brings onto himself is his fault. But as a Kobe fan, I feel like I got to remind people, listen, he's been getting hundreds on his test before this.
Oh, no.
Kobe
is that guy. There's no denying his legacy or what he's done. He does have a lot of haters, but I mean, heavy is the head that wears the crown. The thing about it is, like, LeBron has crazy haters. Kobe has crazy fans as well as haters. I mean, these guys are the best at what they do. Therefore, they have the most haters. So, but I'm interested to see as a Lakers fan when Kobe finally does leave, because right now Kobe's making like $30 million a year to like walk on the treadmill. So when Kobe leaves, so I don't even knock him for staying. If you're going to pay me to rehab, I'm gonna take it. You know what I mean? Yo, word to Steve Nash.
What, Jim? And Kobe, he's already admitted though. Like, I don't care what people think about me. That's the difference between him and everybody else. Like, he's not trying to massage everybody else's, image and interpretation of who he is. He's like, I'm gonna be me, and I don't care what you think. That's the difference between him and like a LeBron. Like, LeBron obviously cares what everybody thinks. Like, his feelings are hurt when people say this kind of stuff about him.
Kobe said last week that friends come and go, but banners stay forever. Once he said that, I said, we're not getting nobody. Because
these dudes want to be friends, man. They want to be friends.
AAU has ruined basketball. These dudes are all friends already. Like, they grew up playing ball together, so they're already friends. They want to continue AAU for the rest of their life. And the fact of the matter is, when Kobe finally leaves, right, and it goes away, I'm interested to see whether it'll go back to how it used to be, where all the free agents come to LA and sign. If that happens, it'll be hilarious. But we'll know that Kobe was the reason.
But if it doesn't, then we'll know that Jim Buss is a bigger idiot than we thought.
True.
The big thing me and E have been debating. The big thing me and E have been debating today is whether or not the Kobe contract was a good or bad contract. As a Lakers fan, Jimmy, how do you feel about the last contract?
All right, here's the thing. There's no
bad contract, but I'm like, Kobe, get your money.
Because the thing is, man, in the words of the legendary Cyrus Beam, man, y'all both are right and y'all both are wrong. It depends upon your vantage point. So it's hard to talk about that contract because Kobe, like at the end of the day, Kobe has 5 rings. So I understand and even want to take care of your players because I wouldn't trade that for nothing. You have teams that have no rings as a franchise. So the fact of the matter is, and me and Dev have had this conversation, like, would you take a championship for 10 years of mediocrity? And I actually say yes. So the fact that we're struggling doesn't take away the fact that Kobe put up 5 banners. You can't take that away. That lasts forever. That lasts forever. So you have teams that have been like, competing and never won. So I understand taking care of them. Is it hurting us right now? Well, that's arguable too because we still have money for other free agents, but they just don't want to come here.
Just ain't coming.
You know what I mean? So the thing is, at one point you say, "Damn, it's taking up 1/3 of the team," but you still got a ton of money. We got a ton of money, but nobody wants to play there.
But right now, Jim, even if you find a free agent who's built, a little like old school cats, like they still might not trust Kobe, not because he's an asshole, but the fact that he's, finished all of his seasons on the injured list for the past 3 years. So they like, okay, Kobe, you say you want to bring me here and we're going to win, but, like, you going to make it past game 20? Like, what's up? So, Father Time is a factor in these meetings as well. Father Time sitting on the other side of the table, chilling.
It's having that big contract. Does that make Kobe feel like he's still the leader? He's still the alpha dog of the team?
Oh, of course.
I mean, the thing about and you can't compare Kobe and Tim Duncan, of course, because they're completely different personalities. But Tim has been willing to take less money, and he's let Tony Parker have the higher contract. He's let other people have those higher contracts, and he's willing to take that back seat, which I don't see Kobe being willing to do that.
That's not his personality, man.
Exactly. And the input from these meetings, we're finding out that he's in the meetings still talking like he's the top player in the league.
Come ride with me. We're going to win this chip. Come ride with me.
Kobe is an alpha male, man. Like, he's an alpha male. And all the players in the league, even if you're the best player in your team, have been a legendary. Like, LeBron's not an alpha male. There's certain dudes that are alpha males. This is another reason why Kobe and Shaq didn't work. Like, Shaq looking at Kobe like, yes, my young boy. And Kobe like, no. I'm not your young boy. Like, so,
B.
Don't spend.
You need to exercise more, big boy.
Yeah, so I mean,
to a guy who don't have a hairline. Tim Duncan don't care about haircuts.
Yeah, Tim Duncan doesn't care about anything. Like, you see the way he dressed.
But another thing about Tim Duncan,
you ever see
another thing about Tim Duncan that people are afraid to admit, and people get on me when I actually say it out loud. Tim Duncan ain't nowhere near the player that he was consistently back in his prime.
Yeah.
Like, Tim Duncan will show you flashes every 3 games, and people act like because he's balling in this one game that it never left. That's kind of the difference between him. Kobe, even being older and being even more of a volume shooter, Kobe still came out and averaged like 25, 26 a game. Tim Duncan can't do that right now. Even if
but Tim Duncan can contribute.
But he got help.
But Kobe also plays on a wing, which is more difficult in terms of when you're aging. When you're aging and you play like power forward center, you can like hide a lot of times in defense, but you still can do things to contribute.
And then just ball for like 10-minute stretches.
But that's all he needs. So, but I salute Tim Duncan because Hank is right. He's willing to do these things to like pretty much prolong his career.
He's admitting, Jim. He's admitting that I'm not what I used to be. See, Kobe ain't ready to admit that.
Yeah,
he'll talk about retirement and he'll talk about getting old, but when he get out on the court, he not trying to give Swaggy the ball and tell him to lead the team. He's not doing that.
And that's a huge difference.
And Tim Duncan also, listen, one thing that I will give the Spurs organization, and Tim Duncan was blessed to have, he has a great organization his whole career. And the Lakers, they're a great organization, but Jim Buss, if that family don't disown that son, Jerry turning over in his grave right now. I don't even know Jerry. I feel like he calling me talking about calling my son.
Talk to my son, man.
But it's hard. It's hard to get rid of Jim Buss. Like, the only person that can fire Jim Buss is Jim Buss.
Genie not gonna fire him. But Tim Duncan had Greg Popovich his whole career. So when you got somebody that listen, I can stick around for another 3 or 4 years if I want. You may take less money. Don't forget, Jim Buss hired Mike D'Antoni, and he wore Kobe into the ground.
And he hired Mike Brown. He's getting it wrong.
Think about this.
Getting it wrong.
Yeah. if Jim Buss doesn't hire Mike D'Antoni and he hires Phil Jackson, it's a good chance Kobe Bryant has 6 championships. Because we still had Dwight Howard, you got Paul Gasol. Who knows what may happen with that team?
No, I mean,
yeah, but Dwight Howard is the epitome of what we've been saying. Dwight Howard is the poster child for not being built like that.
Yeah, but with
Phil, not ready for that type of pressure Kobe putting on.
If Phil Jackson bringing that little Zen master stuff with him,
yeah. If Phil Jackson wasn't giving that hippie dick to Jimmy Buss, none of this would have happened, man.
And Jimmy and E, since y'all Lakers fans, man, I was one of the dudes who I was a believer in that team when Kobe hurt his Achilles. I thought that they were just starting to gel before that playoff run. I thought once they got in the playoffs, they were going to be kind of scary. And then Kobe hurt his Achilles, and then, Dwight Howard had to be your leader, and then it was over. But I was like, yo, they getting to these playoffs, man. I don't know. But it wasn't meant to be.
Being a Lakers fan, the last few days, well, the last couple of years have been hard, but the last few days when you think, all right, we get Russell, we on track, and then LaMarcus Aldridge just illness like that, oh, man.
He gave y'all a second chance, though. He going back.
Yo, but he did. I don't know if you heard, but he's giving him a second chance. But
they literally probably wants to be there.
They literally told Kobe and Jim Buss to stay away. It's just with Byron Scott and Mitch Kupchak. They literally told Kobe and Jim Buss to stay away, both of them.
Yo, it's Jim Buss's organization. They told him to roll. Like, how do you do that?
Listen.
How do you gonna tell Kobe and Jim Buss, like, yo, y'all go that away. We're going to have this second meeting with LaMarcus. Like, that's crazy when you think about it.
They're going to talk behind their back. They're going to talk behind their back. Look, man, when you come here, you don't ever have to speak to Jim, and it's going to be your team, not Kobe's team.
As a fellow Lakers fan, the thing that annoyed me the most this whole free agency is when we brought in DeAndre Jordan, and he left the meeting and was like, yo, I feel sorry for them. I'm like, yo, you're a Clipper.
To be talking like that.
You're a Clipper. You're not even that good, and you're dissing the franchise. Like I said, yo, we are in bad shape.
I'm just wondering what the presentation was for him to come out saying that. Like, did they have I don't know, was it like clowns or something in the room?
Well, from what the article says that the Lakers basically are behind the curve in terms of analytics. So they didn't have a lot of analytics in terms of how he can be used and yada yada yada, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And
actually,
they weren't.
Hank, earlier you were talking about the LA lifestyle. I actually heard that they were too gung ho about trying to sell the lifestyle instead of talking to these cats about basketball.
Yeah,
I heard all they were talking about was the LA lifestyle. Like, you can't run that to DeAndre Jordan. He's been living in LA for the past I don't know how many years.
Well,
and LaMarcus is from Texas and lives in Portland. He don't care about none of that.
Yeah,
well, now hold on, and the Lakers
really wants to not be the center on the team. He wants to play power forward, and that's the basketball stuff that he wants to hear about how he could be used as a stretch forward, which isn't going to happen on the Lakers unless they somehow find some sort of center.
What are you going to stretch?
Now,
he can't even shoot a free throw. Like, what are you talking about? You know, you see like 6% from the line, and you're talking about who you.
No. He's talking about Aldridge.
Oh, you're talking about? I'm about to say. I thought he's talking about DeAndre. Like, yo, you shoot 6% from the line. You giving demands?
But DeAndre does want to be a bigger offensive role.
DeAndre said the reason.
He wants to be a number 2.
Yeah,
he wants to be a number 2.
He's tripping. He's out of his mind.
Yeah, he's tripping.
Yo, but that's why they said that's why they said Aldridge gave the Lakers another shot, because he told the Knicks no, because the Knicks wanted him to play center.
DeAndre was in the perfect place, man. He was somewhere where a point guard likes to throw alley-oops. That's what he needs. You don't have game to be the second.
Man.
Hey, we got to roll. We got a couple more calls we got to get to. We only got 15 minutes, but thanks for the call, homie.
All right, fellas. Appreciate it.
All
right, man.
Hey, John, hold on. We got John and DC calling real quick. We got one more call to call before John. We got Shawnee Sean, who's another member of the Imaginary Players. Let's get him on the line. What's up, homie?
Yo, what's up with y'all? Yo, nothing, man. I'm calling about these fakers, man. The LA fakers. No. The reason why I'm calling, the reason why I'm so upset is because the caller that you had on right before me was E, and we was arguing earlier about this situation. But the thing about it is,
we should have left him on then. Let y'all argue some more.
Man, the thing about it, me and Hank told him this 2 years ago when Kobe signed the contract. We like every year he'd be like, yo, all we need this player or that player for us to win the championship. Every year to E, they're going to win the championship. So we're like, all right, if you want to win the championship, tell Kobe to take less money because he's not as good as he used to be. And then that would have showed the other players like, okay, Kobe really want to win. That will attract more players. But Kobe's so stubborn. That's why nobody want to play with him. He never showed a different way. He never showed anybody that he will bend any way. So that's why
I ain't gonna front, man. I ain't giving up my money. I ain't gonna front. So like, you got players like D Wade who will give up his money for how much do you want to win? I'm saying like he has money. See, but when you already got five, you don't feel that way. Exactly. Like, if I don't win another one, I'm still cool. Like I got five.
But the reason D Wade opted out this year is because he's pissed that he did do that. Like D Wade wishes he didn't do that.
Right.
No, but
he's trying to recoup that money now because he thought they were going to take care of him on the back end, and now he got a 1 year contract.
I don't blame Kobe for saying he wants all his money. He wants to be paid at the top. I don't blame him, but we do have to recognize that him doing those actions are what's causing the team to be bad.
But you know what? Hold on.
They still got a ton of cap space though.
But that's partially true. It's not always true because even with Kobe's contract, they have enough money to sign two max players. Nobody wants to play there. So even with his contract, they can sign max players, but the fact of the matter is nobody wants to play there.
So nobody wants to play there because of his attitude. Yeah, it's his attitude.
It might be more about his attitude than his contract.
That's what I'm saying. So it's not the contract, it's the attitude. They got plenty of money, but the fact of the matter is, Joe, we end up with somebody like Jeremy Lin. We got all this bread to spend, and we end up with Jeremy Lin. You got a free agency period where you got like LeBron and Wade. We end up with Jeremy Lin and Boozer. Like, are you serious? It's a joke. It's a joke. But I mean, you know, at the end of the day, if you look at it from Kobe's vantage point, I put 5 on the board. Let me get this chicken before I get out of here. Like, you know, so
I ain't mad at that.
Yeah, so it is what it is.
I'm like Sam Cassell. Won't supposed to be mad at that? Won't supposed to be mad at that?
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm always for a man getting his money, but you also have to show that you're willing to change. Like, you can't always be yourself all the time. If you want to win, you have to show a different side of yourself. You have to be likable. You only gotta be likable for what, 1 or 2 more years? If you're trying to win the championship in 1 or 2 years, that's it. Or just be likable just to get them on the team, and once you get them on the team, then you put your foot in the ass.
We tried that with Dwight, but it didn't work. But here's the thing, Shawnee.
Dwight wasn't on a long-term contract yet. He should have waited till he signed.
But what you're telling the guy is to change who he is. That's got him the success he has. You can't change a player's game in the 9th inning. Like, so this is what he's done to get to where he is. He's put 5 on the board. So my point is, I agree with you that
he put 5 on the board on the court.
No, but I understand. But what I'm saying is, the fact of the matter is, Kobe won't win another title. I mean, I just don't think he will, unless like a miracle happens this offseason. But other than that, he won't win another title. But I never expected him to change his pitch up in the meetings because that's not who Kobe is. This is a guy that came out and said, I don't care about being friends. Like, you know what I mean? Banners last forever. Friends don't.
Jim, he wasn't even talking about friends in the league. He was talking about friends in the league too, but he was talking about he sacrificed friendships in life because he wanted to be in the gym all the time. Trying to win these banners.
Like,
dude got a problem, yo.
Like, dude is a
he got a problem. He's different.
So, but the thing is, the thing about it is, like, he's also competing against Father Time, so he doesn't have that much time left anyway. So we'll see what happens once he's gone.
I have one more point before I go, fellas. Good. No, everybody that he's trying to recruit to the Lakers, they don't give a F about his 5 rings because they're not getting one. Just because you got 5, that don't mean I'm saying nobody cares about your past 5 rings. Let's talk about how we gonna get rings in the future. Let's recruit these kids and let's get them in here so we can win. If you got this attitude, nobody wants to play. We knew nobody wanted to play with Kobe back when he came in the league '96. Like, nobody liked him on the Lakers then. He was an outcast.
Yeah,
he's the only Philly star we have, and nobody like him in Philly.
Listen, everything you're saying is true.
I like him.
But the fact of the matter is, man, I mean, he's not going to change who he is for nobody, and you can't expect him to. You know what I mean? Like, he's cut from a different cloth. These young boys, they grew up playing AAU ball. They all want everybody to be friends with and hold hands and sing Kumbaya.
That's the new league. That's the new league, though.
That's why he on his way out. That's why he and Garnett hanging on by a string.
That's why he's on his way out. You know what I mean? But when he's out, we'll see what happens. But I don't expect him to change.
Speaking of Garnett, they're going to get him out of that young locker room. Garnett going to corrupt that young locker room. They already afraid of Garnett in that Minnesota locker room. Like, yo, when he comes to the locker room, everybody shut up.
I could imagine.
Yeah, man.
All right, fellas. Thanks a lot.
All right, Shani.
All right,
take
man.
it easy, homie.
All right, Sean.
All right.
The thing is,
we got another call, man.
KG can't even fight. And
We got the homie calling from the DMV area. We got John Sanders, aka RG4. Let's get John on the line. John, what's up, homie?
I think John a Lakers fan too, man.
We're not even on football season yet, are we?
Hey,
John, ain't you a Lakers fan too?
Dude, I'm a Lakers fan. You guys said enough for me already. But I mean, Jack Nichols. I just got the phone with Jack. He's gonna sell me a ticket for $500. So I'm trying to get my check ready. But yeah, I told this 2 years ago, you guys, back in, I believe it was October 2013. I told you Lakers are done. As long as Kobe kept signing that deal and did this and did that, they weren't going anywhere. Jim Buss, you're an idiot. Plain and simple, you're an idiot.
That's
the problem
that's
right
like
there. Kobe is not going to take less money. And I said this again 2 years ago because someone just brought up about he needs to take less money. He's not going to take less money because, number one, Jordan didn't take less money, and he always emulates Jordan. And number two,
he took less money all throughout his career, though. And then Mike was like, hell with that. I'm sticking y'all up for these last two.
Well, okay, yeah, you got a point. But also, let's not forget, Kobe probably lost somewhere between, and you tell me, I could be awful, but somewhere between $40 to $100 million in endorsements because of that whole thing with the girl in Colorado.
Yeah, so he got to get his scratch back. He ain't giving up no money.
Right.
And he lost $4 million paying his wife, getting that ring, the makeup ring.
And he lost the house to the mother-in-law. So the man's got needs money, man. That's what it is. But
that could be another thing. They might have an agreement. Like, all right, don't leave me now. Wait till I finish playing. So let me get this money. I don't know.
So I came up here because Kobe, we already did done the Lakers. I came up here to ask you guys this question, and I don't know if you guys talked about this last week or whatever, but LeBron, he opted out of his contract. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's free agent as of now. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if he swerved around and went somewhere else? Well, how do we know that?
That would be the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life.
That's what I'm trying to get to. We don't know. What if the Lakers worked out a deal?
Recruited Kevin Love at the pool party, though.
and they drove.
Man, you need to get off that NFL.
They don't like each other.
Nah, but they realize that they need each other right now. He ain't going nowhere, man. If he does, be the most shocking thing I've ever seen, yo.
Yo, that'd be the most shocking thing in the history of everything.
The reason why
LeBron
hasn't resigned yet. The reason why he hasn't resigned yet is because he's spending so much time signing everybody else. Like LeBron is
make sure the team's straight
right now. Yeah, so
I'm not buying
there meeting with Kevin Love, making sure that Tristan Thompson got what he was supposed to get. LeBron's deal is the easiest deal in the league to work out. He's getting the max.
He told Pat Riley to go get that. He told Pat Riley to go get that young guard. I forget his name, and they went ahead and signed him, and he still bolted the Heat. I don't know.
But listen, that's Shabazz.
That he was the best.
Shabazz Napier versus Kevin Love. It's different. It's different.
That's Shabazz Napier versus Kevin Love, though, yo. Come on.
LeBron did that for business reasons. It's not really basketball reasons. LeBron trying to get a piece of this new TV deal. And the way these contracts, from what I read, work this year, you can have it escalated, so you don't have to wait the next year to get it. So LeBron did it for business reasons.
I ain't gonna front though. He shat on Dwayne Wade last year because he could have told Dwayne, "Get your money, don't wait for me because I'm not coming back." He did crap on Dwayne Wade last year. Wade wouldn't be in this situation he is in now if LeBron didn't just roll out on him like that.
No, Dwayne just signed a deal.
There's no way he leaves Cleveland.
No, Dwayne signed a deal today, but Dwayne could have did this
for
last year.
1 year, 20 years.
Wow.
We're talking about last year. Dwayne remember, last year Dwayne Wade opted out because he was opting out so they could give LeBron some more scratch. And LeBron didn't tell him not to do it, and then LeBron left. Dwayne Wade shouldn't be on a one-year deal. He had like 3 years left on a deal that was going to give him like $20 million a year. So he crapped on Wade, but there's no way he leaves Cleveland.
But LeBron,
No way.
LeBron actually did the very first day. LeBron told him and Bosh to not wait for him and to do whatever is best for them. He didn't.
He
Come
did
out
say that.
and
He did say
I'm
that. He did say
absolutely
that.
going to leave, but he
Hey,
said,
Hank.
"Yo, don't wait up for me. Get what you can get."
Hank, wait.
Right.
Having Brown on their team was what's best for them. So they tried.
Hey, John,
And he crapped on them.
John, we about to get off here, man, but thanks for your call, homie.
All right.
All right, homie. Last question before
Hey,
we get out of here. Last question before we get out of here, gentlemen, is it was a little debate, not really a debate, but a couple questions in the chat room in reference to LaMarcus Aldridge. It was Leroy was saying, why is he the big fuss? And Skyview said because he's arguably the best free agent out there and he's an all-star.
Nice.
So Leroy asked the question, which I've heard a lot. Is Aldridge a difference maker in terms of wins in his league? Like, is he that good, or is he just like a guy who could be the number 2 option? Or is he a big difference maker? What's your guys' opinion?
That's a good question. I mean, there's no solid proof to that because Portland hasn't really done much, but I don't know. I think if you pair him with somebody, they can be good. Yeah.
They're a playoff contender every year. He's shown that he's stepped up big in playoff games. He's had monster playoff series. I think LaMarcus Aldridge is definitely a difference maker on a team. Now, can you just put him in
not
four
just a
scrubs?
dude.
No. Yeah.
Okay.
He needs help. But he can
So
be
basically,
the
Hank,
guy.
like difference maker, yes. Carry a
So
team on his shoulders, probably not.
Who would you compare him to in terms of like his value, in terms of like great players or good players for that matter?
A Chris Bosh.
Okay.
I would say Kevin Love. I mean, they're
So
all
he's
around
just,
that
he's
same
just, he's
area.
just not the number 1 option. He's a great player, but not a number 1 option.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
All right, well, we got like 30
gotta
seconds.
get out of-
Then let me run off. Let me run off some of these deals real quick. Dwayne Wade back to the Heat, 1 year, $20 million. Thomas Robinson to the Nets at the veterans minimum for 2 years. Greg Monroe signs a max deal, 3 years, $50 million with the Bucks. Monta Ellis, 4 year, $44 million in Indy. Aaron Aflalo
Great deal.
going to the
Great
Knicks,
deal.
2 years, $16 million. Shane Larkin to the Nets, 2 years, $3 million. Ed Davis, of course, you said 3 year, $20 million. He's going to Portland. Of course, yesterday, Draymond stayed with the Warriors, 5 years, $85 million. Kevin Love re-signed for $110 million over 5 years with the Cavs. Jimmy Butler stays in Chicago. Paul Pierce is joining his hometown Clippers. Tyson Chandler to the Suns. Brandon Knight staying with the Suns. DeMar Carroll to the Raptors. Danny Green, Anthony Davis. Y'all know those deals. So let's get out of here.
All right, thanks everybody for joining us in the War Room. Shout out to everybody from the chat room, Facebook, Twitter, all the calls who chimed in. We appreciate it. Those we didn't get to, we apologize. Special thanks to the homie Hank for busting it up with us today. Tune in next week, same time, same place, live right here or on demand on the WRS Podcast Network for more great sports talk. Next week, we'll talk NBA free agency again, some NFL training camp, believe it or not, and whatever else is happening in the week of sports. Whoever gets arrested, we'll talk about them as well. Be sure to catch our conversations on Facebook and Twitter at War Room Sports, our blogs, webcasts, everything. WarRoomSports.com. Until next time, everybody, don't accept mediocrity. Be steadfast in the war against ignorance, and we'll see you chumps on top.
Chumps on top.
Peace.
6 to 8. Yeah. War Room Sports. Y'all ready? Let's go. Stay in tune to Jimmy. Know the blueprint. Every Thursday, 6 to 8, they do this. Shout out to Dev, PJ, B. Austin, Doc Bay on replay. WarRoomSports.com. Get that mobile app. If not, dial 323-140012. They be going and you sensitive, then oh well. Physical podcast, let's talk sports. Showtime like Magic in the box course. Listen live, push 1 to join in. Rip your team or listen for your enjoyment. Hip-hop scholars, tip-stop and knowledge. Should be in sports credits, I ain't talking college. 5 guys, no beef though. Corporate secret, but the streets know. Belafonte, I got a G flow. KC, royalty, I'm in beast mode. 2 hours, get your game up. Who's the best in sportscast? You better name us. War Room Sports. Yeah, you know, Jimmy, Dad, DJ, Jack Beck, Lee Austin. I'm Jack. Up and coming on the beat.
War Room Sports, www.warroomsports.com. What? Ain't no more to it.